Good morning. How's everyone doing? Welcome back. Welcome back. What's up, Fareed? Hello from Italy. Nice, Thomas. Morning, Kevin. Belgium. Morning, morning. All right. Just another beautiful day. How'd everyone do yesterday? Curacao, wow. That's true, yeah, last day of February. I didn't even realize. Yeah, last trading day of February. Nice. Second day here. Welcome to the second day. Brazil. Lost $1. Yeah, Tesla was nice yesterday. Tesla's hot this morning. Very hot. All right. So, welcome back, everyone. Let's get started. Yesterday was a good day. Another fantastic example of supply and demand yesterday. We moved up off demand, hit the supply on the ES, nasty rejection there, and then pretty much just a slide the rest of the day. I mean, it was just a up into major rejection point, reject there, back down. If you use the levels, textbook day. I mean, there was nothing, not a single thing that happened yesterday that didn't make sense, right? And we'll look over it again today. Everything just worked perfectly. We moved up into that 40.25 on ES. We moved up into that 12.2 on the NASDAQ, and we rejected. And downside plays were just as good as the morning upside plays. So actually, probably downside plays were probably better yesterday. Midday, little early afternoon, late morning downside plays were probably the best plays of the day. So if you caught anything off that supply yesterday, congratulations there. That was 401 on the SPY. We were talking about that level in the live stream. So that was pretty textbook stuff. We will go ahead and review, sort of what happened there again today to have a little learning lesson. But let's go ahead and start with the economic calendar. Again, really not much on the economic calendar this week. Nothing that, some car parts. I have not looked at car parts, so I don't know where they're getting this from. I sold my, I don't think I talked about this. I sold my Audi TTR. I had an Audi TTRS. Pretty awesome car. Enjoyed it a lot. Put about 5,000 miles on it over 3 years. So it was sort of like a garage queen, sort of weekend cars and coffee car. And I bought it for $77,000 and I sold it for $74,000. So over 3 years, I paid $3,000 for the car. And had got a check for $20,000 for selling it. So I had $20,000 in equity in the car. So yeah, I mean, I think I did pretty well with that thing. Only spent $3,000 over 3 years, which is, I don't know, what does that come out to? What's 3,000 divided by 36? So I paid $83 a month for that car. For a $77,000 Audi TTRS, I paid $83 a month. So that was that's pretty badass right there. So sold that, got a $20,000 check, and yeah, didn't need it anymore. I've driven maybe 2 times since I've moved here to Miami. You walk everywhere, so it's such a waste to be paying for that car. So, yeah, pretty cool. So that's that reminded me of, I don't know why there's car parts here, because I surely am not looking at cars right now. Anyways, today, Tuesday, February 28th, we have some news here at 8:30. Advanced U.S. trade balance good. Advanced retail inventories, advanced wholesale inventories. We'll see if there's anything there. I don't really expect much. Home price index at 9 o'clock. Chicago Business Barometer. I don't know if that really does anything there. 9:45. And then consumer confidence at 10. That could be interesting to watch out for. And then a Fed president speaking at 2:30. I paid $83 a month, basically. That was my monthly payment. That's crazy. So not much today. I mean, there's some things to keep an eye out for, but nothing like market moving. March 1st, that's tomorrow, first day of March. ISM manufacturing, construction spending. Thursday, jobless claims, normal stuff. Waller speaking at 4 o'clock, and then ISM services, nothing really on Friday either. So, yeah, nothing great. Nothing big here on the economics, so nothing really to worry about there. Everything is in walking distance where I'm at, yeah, in Brickell. It's maybe not walking distance everywhere in Miami, but where I'm at, it's all walking distance. Earnings calendar. Let's go ahead and pop that up here. All right. Here we go. So yesterday we had Zoom. I think it is higher this morning. Target we had this morning. I think that's higher as well, if it still is, or did it flip? I think it might have flipped. Yeah, Target's back down. It flipped a little bit. Advanced Auto Parts, AutoZone, not really interested. Rivian, AMC after hours. A bunch of people are going to be YOLOing into those calls, of course, so good luck with that. Neo, Wendy's, Lowe's tomorrow morning. Could affect Home Depot, so watch out for that if you're in Home Depot trades. Watch out for Lowe's earnings in the pre-market. Salesforce CRM, Snowflake, Celsius, favorite drink. Best Buy, Costco, C3.ai, Macy's. So again, just those retailers. And yeah, that's about it. Nothing crazy here on the earnings side. All right. So yeah, you could, if you're interested in those retail earnings, you could get a little bit of a read here on Target. If you're really that interested in it, I'm not. But if you are, just take a look at Target's earnings. All right. So today, some nice setups. I think some really nice setups out there. We'll talk through them and give you an idea of what I'm looking at. Tesla, obviously moving to the upside, strong this morning. Tesla held that 204 level perfectly yesterday. That was the level we were talking about. I took a trade off that personally. Yeah, so really nice Tesla upside move. we'll see if that continues today. Let's keep an eye on that one, of course. Nvidia 234 hold is very nice. Netflix upside, looking for that as well. I'm liking this potential retest hold of the Friday highs on Netflix, so I want to point that out. Meta is getting a little bit of juice this morning, just a little bit of a squeeze this morning of some kind of buying power. So, or I'm sorry, of buying, a little bit of buyers stepping up. So I am interested in Meta. I don't know if it's ready yet. I'll point out to you guys what I think it needs to do before you look to feel confident on the upside, but I am watching Meta. I want to point it out. Amazon 93, that is still very much alive. Keeping an eye on this. Airbnb, pointed out by you guys in the chat this morning. I like this setup. I'm going to watch it. And then Apple 200 SMA is a major watch for not only Apple in itself, but the market as well. Apple 200 SMA is big here. So this is what we're going to look at today. We'll obviously, sprinkle in a few other names, but let's go ahead and get started. So, I mean, couldn't have got any cleaner yesterday, in my opinion, on the NASDAQ. Pretty much all we did was move from the morning demand that held into the supply, and then we just rejected. It was pretty textbook. So yesterday we were coming up right in the morning. Pre-market was moving higher. We held at open. We sort of pushed up. Where is this? This is at 9:30 right here. We pulled back, right? Or I'm sorry, we pushed higher into that supply, right? Up into these highs, up into this Wednesday high, this Thursday high. We just sort of squeezed up into it, found a really nasty rejection as we approached this red zone, big rejection, and then we pretty much just held that demand all day. So this 1230 to 12100 level that I previously talked about, you guys can see this is the previous lows from Wednesday, the previous lows from Thursday, and you can see yesterday, or actually in the pre-market today, pretty much a perfect hold once again. So this is Friday's highs, Thursday's lows, Wednesday's lows. We pushed off of it, hit the top channel high supply, rejected it, came back down into the lows, held it, right? So we're just continuing to trade within this channel, within these demand and supply zones. You trust them, right? That's all you can do. Once again, I don't have that much to update you on because it pretty much is I haven't touched this chart since yesterday. There's no need to update anything right now. You can clearly see, I believe this whole zone between 12.1 and 12.3 is all demand. I think this is a whole level that I would be paying attention to. I would not short the market through this zone. It proved to you yesterday that it was not an easy short. So if you were shorting every time that the NASDAQ pushed into this green zone, if you were short, right, you had a very short-lived stay, right? And if you overstayed your welcome in this zone, you probably lost, right? So if you shorted here, maybe you got a few points. If you took profits, well done. If not, right back up. Shorted here, maybe you got some profits. If not, right back up. If you shorted here end of day, hopefully you took some profits because by the end of the day, we popped right back above it and we held it. So this zone is not easy to short in. And you can see here in the pre-market this morning, we moved down into this level again, back into that 1230, and popped right back out of it. So I don't really see, right, the desire to short this market here if we're trading above this green zone. I just don't think it's an easy trade. Sure, you can get some short-term plays. Sure, there's going to be opportunity, right? I don't disagree, but it's just not a very comfortable trade to be holding, to be short in this green zone. You can clearly see how many times this market has found support out of this zone. So definitely not interested in the short side. I would really only be interested on the short side if we break and hold below yesterday's lows, right? That's really about it right here. I would say if we break and hold below yesterday's lows here, if we break and hold below Friday's lows here, Thursday's lows here, and if we break below and hold below Wednesday's lows, then sure, right? Then things change. If we get this move down under 1230, we hold below it, then I like the short. Until that happens, I'm a little bit cautious on the short, unless the short is up at the supply. So if we hold this zone today, this green zone, I think there's a possibility of you pushing back into supply again today, up around 12.2, 12.250, and then obviously we'll have to see what happens up here. If we've learned anything from reading the price action over the last few days, over the last week, we know that 12,200, 12,250 is a very tough level. Every attempt into the zone was rejected, 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 rejected. So today, as it has been for the last 5 days, you really got to focus on risk reward. You got to focus on, does this demand hold? Can I go long here? Does this supply reject? Can I go short here? That's really all you could say right now. You got to trust the channel. You got to trust these zones. Until it breaks, that's all we can do. All right? The real moves, right? The real moves happen if you break over 12,250. This is the real move over 12,250, or the move under the 200 SMA, right? Right here, right here, right here. These are the real moves. Under the 200 SMA for more downside, or over 12,250 for more upside. Until then, it's the channel. That's all it is. ES, same shit, right? Upside supply, 40.25. Downside demand, 39.75 and 39.50. If I go to the 30-minute chart, we can see what happened yesterday. You can see right here, we absolutely perfectly ticked the 40.25 level yesterday. And it was 401 on the SPY. Absolutely nailed it. I mean, it was perfect. Right into it, right into Wednesday's highs, right into Thursday's highs, right back into it yesterday, early morning. Ticked it, major rejection. Congratulations if you caught that. That was a sick downside move. When we moved to the downside, where did we hold in this morning's pre-market? We held Thursday's lows, Friday's highs, right there, right? So that is clearly the level that's trying to hold as of now. So, do we short into demand? No, we can't short into this demand. It's shown us that we should not be shorting into 39.75. Can we short off this supply? Yes, right? That is definitely something that's possible again. Could we get another supply rejection up at 40.25? Yes. That's the same thing we've seen happen Wednesday, Thursday, and yesterday. So, same exact thing, right? Nothing has changed. 40.25 supply, 39.75 demand, and even down here, you got the 200 SMA, 39.50. Same exact stuff. If we zoom out to the hourly chart, right? If the market is to break above 40.25 today, if the market is able to hold above it, right? Your next move would be to 40.60. If you can see something like this, if you can hold above these previous highs, then I'm looking to see a move into that 40.60. That would be the next major supply rejection. Same exact thing as yesterday. All right. And if you break the 200 SMA to the downside, right? If you break the 200 SMA to the downside, you're looking at maybe like 3,900, 3,800. So pretty aggressive downside if we get that move to the downside. But besides that, right? Same exact stuff as yesterday. 39.75, 40.25. Watch the channel. Trust the channel. That's about all I can tell you. SPY, it's the same exact thing again. 401. We talked about this yesterday. You guys can see if I go to the 1-minute chart, look at the reaction on the market at 401 yesterday. Talked about this in the Discord chat, live trading. There's absolutely no reason to be long here, right? If you were long here yesterday, it's just you're simply not paying attention to levels, because this was probably one of the easiest. I saw so many people catch this downside, like all on Instagram and all on Twitter, and I understand why, right? My day was over by here, right? I had my Tesla trade. I was done. I walked away. But this is like probably one of the easier supply rejections that you'll ever see. I mean, it's a push into supply, right? It's another try. It's another try. And at this point, right? At this point, after seeing this, if you are still hoping and praying that the market breaks through supply, then it's just a matter of greed or bias, because that is as clear as possible. Triple top right at 401 supply, and this was a sick downside move. I mean, this is hundreds of percents on like SPY puts. So really, really clean stuff yesterday. Congratulations. I'm sure a lot of you guys caught this, because this was a gift, to be quite honest. Yesterday was a gift. The market makers gave you a gift yesterday, if you're paying attention. That's a gift. I mean, that's a perfect push into previous supply. Easy triple top. It didn't even run away from you. Didn't even trick you. There was no fake outs here. Just a triple top, boom. That's pretty badass. So, same exact thing again today. You look for rejections of 401, you look for demand at 397, and that's about all I could say, because that's all this market's been doing. Continue to trade it until one of these sides breaks. Supply here, demand here, sell here, buy here, until it breaks. All right, until you get something like this that maybe we start to hold up, or maybe we look for that downside under 397 into the 200 SMA. Until then, you already know what I'm going to say. All right, so that's that. Dow Jones, same thing, right? This was another gift on the Dow yesterday. You guys can see right here, just another gift, push straight into supply. Rejections Wednesday, rejections Thursday, and you can see right as we approached that supply yesterday, all right, failed, rejection, and now we're back in the demand. So probably could move this down a little bit just so that we have where it rejected yesterday, probably right in there. Yeah, right around there. So the Dow, pretty much just 33,250 to 32,750, right? Big demand down here, short-term supply up here. Same exact thing. Nothing's changed. Russell, same exact thing as yesterday. As you can see, we clearly didn't do much yesterday. So we traded to the upside of this rejection point, right up here, these previous lows into highs right here. Turn this red. So you can see previous lows, rejection, very nice. And here's your demand down here, 1885 to 1920. All right, so that's all I got for you on the futures. I mean, it's pretty clean stuff. All right, let's continue. Tesla. So what did Tesla do yesterday? Tesla pretty much perfectly broke and held over 204. All right, you can see right here, previous highs, break, retest, beautiful hold at 204, textbook. Nice upside this morning after that break and hold over 204. Nice stuff. I caught this trade yesterday right here in the short term. You guys can see right here, we broke and held over 204. I got in on this candle, this little bounce off 204 candle, held through this chop fest, and then eventually got paid off here. The live trade of that is on Instagram if you want to check it out. I'll probably make a video about that today and amongst other things, but that's a nice Tesla 204 break and retest from yesterday. Now today, right? Today, we are looking at 210. So what do I want to see on Tesla today? I would like to see a pullback to 210. If I can see a pullback to 210, if I could see this previous demand and this previous rejection here turn into support once again, that would be my opportunity to potentially long Tesla. So if I can see a 210 hold here, that would be something I'd look for into 214. Or, right, if I see 210 turn into a rejection again, this could be a downside play. Either direction is possible. So really what I want to see today is a pullback to 210. That's the goal. If I can get a pullback here to 210, that would be the goal. So watching for that today, just being cautious of the 214 highs, right? That's something that you probably don't want to be too aggressive on the long side into, right up here, 214, 214, 214. Probably don't want to be too aggressive on the long side into that, but I'll be looking for that 210 pullback. Yeah, IV is pretty high on Tesla, so maybe it's something you look past or trade with shares, up to you. But yeah, IV is pretty high, so just be careful on that standpoint. But yeah, looking for that 210. All right, Nvidia. Looking for 234, seeing what happens at 234 today. So if we zoom in here, I'm looking to see, Does Nvidia hold 234 or does it lose it? This is the previous highs from Friday that held this support yesterday, that held this support again in the pre-market. So I am keeping an eye on this 234. I'm going to be looking to see, is there a trade off this level today? Can I get either demand bounce off 234 today? Can I see maybe a fade under 234, right? Turn Friday lows back into rejections. Those are the two opportunities that I'm looking for. So eyeing this 234. I think a big zone down here. Anywhere between like 234.50 and 233.50, about this dollar range, is sort of what I'm eyeing. Seeing if there's a pullback to this zone and seeing how Nvidia reacts in this area. Pre-market, it was support. Yesterday it was support, and it was Friday's highs. So I think this is an area of importance that I would be watching today. Obviously, you guys can see yesterday, the 238 level is an absolute brick wall. So if you're going to long Nvidia, you got to look for a pullback opportunity because you do not want to long it as it approaches 238. Your entries cannot be up here on Nvidia. If you're entering calls up here, you're basically throwing away any type of context that the market has given you. The market has given you plenty of context that 238 is not the level to be long into. You can clearly see all these rejections that are stepping in. So 238, 239, do not be long near that level. If you want to long Nvidia, look for pullbacks at 234s. And even, honestly, the better pullback is probably 230. This is probably an even better buying opportunity back at 230. So watching those levels on Nvidia today. Netflix. So very interested in Netflix for a few reasons. I think the pullback was warranted, and I think it's good that it happened, and I think it could be opportunity still. So I'm keeping an eye on this. Obviously, it's market dependent. Does the market move higher today? Does it break down? That's going to be very important. But definitely watching this little uptrend here on the daily chart on Netflix, which is matched right around this 314 level. This 314 level is held pretty nicely over yesterday and even Thursday, Friday, and yesterday. You can see right here. This is the last 3 trading days, and you can see here's Thursday, held it. Here's Friday, held it. Pushed higher yesterday, pulled back, and now, if we go to the 5-minute chart, you guys will see that we are attempting to turn Friday's highs into a support level. So we have Thursday's little rejections here. We have Friday highs here, and you can see this morning, if Netflix can maintain this 322, 321 area, I think this can go again. So I'm going to be watching this today. If Netflix loses this level, then the trade is likely over because you're trading right back down into this channel. But if Netflix can maintain this 322, right, this Friday high, this little rejection from Thursday, I'm going to look to see if this is a little break and retest, and then we hold here, right, for another potential upside move on Netflix. Ultimate target on this play would probably be back into 336. Here's why. I think Netflix can make up this very aggressive downside from Thursday of last week. So my target would be try to play it off this 321 and look for it to sort of make up this major downside from Thursday and just sort of take profits up at this 336 level. That's something I'm looking at. We'll see if that sets up today. I'm not sure it will, but that is definitely something that I'm monitoring. Meta. So Meta's got a little bit of strength this morning. It looks like it is getting sold a little bit due to the market this morning, but a little bit of upside on Meta this morning. If we go to the hourly chart, sort of eyeing this 174 level for Meta to actually get confirmation. So here's Meta on the hourly. And I think, it's not a perfect downtrending channel, but I think it's been respected pretty well. You can see rejections here, rejections here, rejections here. So 3 taps of that downtrend, and then you can see on the downside, support stepped up, support stepped up. A little bit of a slip here, but quickly bought back up. Support here, support here. So this downtrending channel has been respected multiple times. It's even being respected right now as we speak in the pre-market. So I want to have the idea of looking to see if Meta reverses here, but it doesn't make any sense to long Meta until it obviously breaks out of this downtrending channel, and I think even gets back above 174. So this is really the move that I'm waiting to see on Meta. If we can get back above these lows, you guys can see right here, this 174 low, right in this general area, and then back above these highs around this 174. You can see this previous support turned into rejections here on Meta. So I I can't, right? In my head, it doesn't make sense to long Meta until it's back above that level. So this is something I'm watching. It's not setting up yet. I would not long Meta here yet. It's still in this downtrending channel. But I would be looking for a break and hold over 174. I think that would do it to see if Meta, to see if this does break out of this downtrending channel. This volume has been dying off every single day. This is a very weird downside move. I think there will be an upside opportunity out of this. It's a very slow downtrending channel. I think it's just sort of waiting for some kind of catalyst or maybe a market move to the upside. And this definitely could, reverse. The reason why I'm a little bit more looking for upside than downside is because I'm not going to short Meta into these lows or into these highs. It's just a little too scary for me, to be honest. I don't really want to short Meta into these highs. So I'm probably going to leave Meta shorts alone. I don't really want to short it back into these channel highs. I mean, this is a crazy channel. It's still sort of respecting it. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Another reason why I think I'm just going to wait for the, possible long opportunity is because the downside just has not been any type of aggressive, right? And it's just been so slow. So in my opinion, if there is a little flip here, right, that upside's going to get pretty aggressive because there's a lot of shorts that are probably just sort of sitting in this, just sort of closing their eyes and letting this thing sort of slide, which I don't see as it's not a problem. It's working for them. But it's so slow, especially with options. Like, this is not going to make you money with options, this like sideways slow downside. So I'm more interested in seeing that little pop out of this. So we'll see what happens. Not setting up yet, so it's not a valid trade yet, but I am watching it. Amazon, keeping an eye on this 93 area on Amazon. So right here on Amazon, again, you guys have seen me talk about this one. Amazon's still holding. It's still defending that 93. So I am going to keep an eye on that. You can see triple bottom on 93. It's sitting there again. If we go to the 5-minute chart, you can see yesterday it defended that level again. So I'm going to keep an eye on to see how Amazon forms here. But I'll look both ways, right? If Amazon loses 93, opportunity to the downside is there as well. If Amazon loses that 93 level, right? If Amazon falls under this previous triple bottom, things could get ugly for it as well. So previous low, previous low, previous low. If you break that 93, look for that downside as well, right? Opportunities on both sides. If you hold the 93, right, I think there's possible risk reward here if you maintain this 93. So keeping an eye on that. We'll see what happens. Not setting up yet, right? None of these trades are really setting up yet. But I think they're ones to be eyeing, right? Meta and Amazon, not really setting up yet, but I think there could be opportunity if we get any type of movement on the NASDAQ, maybe over this 12,250 and the ES over like this 4025. If that starts to set up, right, Amazon will probably move nicely off 93. Meta might catch something off 170. So I'm going to be just, keeping it on the back burner. Always want to have those back burner plays that you're just sort of aware that are setting up but not ready yet, so that you know where to right, if I see the market start to move higher, I know where I'm going. I know I'm looking at Amazon. I know I'm looking at Meta. I know where I'm looking if we do get a market upside move. All right, Airbnb. This is interesting. So here's the daily chart on Airbnb. And it had earnings. We all know that, right? Had earnings. Big pop to the upside. Here's your gap. It filled the gap, right? Airbnb filled the upside gap, right? So you can see this was your gap, and you came back down and you filled it. So filled that gap down to 121, 120, which is also right where this previous double top is. One here, two here. So you have a gap up on earnings, gap fill on post earnings, gap fill right back into a double top previous rejection point, which is now turning into a new demand potentially, right? So here's your top, right? Your gap, your fill, and then look at where it held here on Friday of last week. So this is interesting. This is a break and retest back into the previous highs. I think if Airbnb can break 127, I think it could get a move. That's obviously market dependent as well, so we'll have to see what the market does. But I'm interested in this. So we'll see what happens. If it rejects 127, then that's no good, right? Because this is also a previous double top that you do not want to long Airbnb into. If you long Airbnb into 127, you're possibly asking to get a major rejection off that level. So please wait to see if 127 actually turns into a new support. That is necessary, because if it does not, right, then you're just rejecting this previous double top from back in August and September of last year. Major previous double top here at 127, and you are trading right back into it this morning, right here, 127. So look to see if you get over 127 on Airbnb. If you do, I think there's continuation, possibly off a break and retest right here, right? You can clearly see the break and retest. If you can get over 127, I'd look for continuation. If you do not get over 127, then you could see that rejection of that previous double top from back in August, September. So 127 Airbnb, that's a big level that I'm watching today. Apple. So the 200 SMA on Apple. This is not only we already went over Netflix, we already went over SPY. This is not only a big level for Apple, but it's a big level for the market, right? The market's obviously very much dependent on what Apple does. I don't want to say dependent, but Apple's a large weighting on the market, right? Major weighting on the market, and this is very important, this 200 SMA. You can see Apple has found support here multiple times. This is that 200 swooping down, support here on Wednesday, support at the 200 on Thursday. We did fail it on Friday, but quickly got back over yesterday. And then in the pre-market today, you can see we're trying to find some support off that 200 again. So here's your red line. This is your 200. Look at how perfectly those bounces were both Wednesday and Thursday, right? It's crazy to see how perfectly, right? These are just pretty much algos that are set to buy off the 200. That's all that is. And you can clearly see it worked those 2 days at least. But we'll have to see, right? We'll have to see if this holds today. If this breaks down, if Apple's back under 147, which it looks like the market must be moving lower right now because it's starting to get some downside, it could be a little aggressive, right? So watch this 200 on Apple. This is definitely a major level here. It's been very weak. Every upside push has been sort of sold into. If Apple is under the 200, this could get a little aggressive, and the next level of support is down here at the 100, which is 143. So 147, 143. Watch that 200 SMA on Apple. Let's take a quick look at the NASDAQ. What are we doing here? Yeah, we're moving lower, but we're moving lower into demand again. So this means nothing. Yes, we're moving slightly lower, guys, but this is not anything. There's nothing. You do not short this market until you break under this low. If you short into this pullback here, you're asking for this to happen to you. All right? It doesn't make any sense. You have to wait for this low to break. If this low breaks, then yes, I would agree. You probably could see some continuation. If yesterday's low breaks, right, this low right here, the pre-market low breaks, which is the same as Thursday's lows and Wednesday's lows, right, that is where you could maybe get aggressive. But if you are shorting into all of this yesterday demand, into here, into all here, you short into this, it's going to be a real sweaty trade. It might work out for you, but it's going to be real sweaty. So just watch out for this green zone below. Watch out. If you break this 12,030, then yes, I would say things could flip, right? If you break yesterday's lows, which is also Thursday's lows, then I think there could be a flip here back to the 200. That's very possible. And then on the ES, all right, you're going to have to break 39.75 pre-market lows and Thursday's lows. 39.75, 39.75, 39.75. You try to short here into this level, you're asking for that to happen. If the market has showed you anything over the past 5 trading days, you have to watch out for these demand zones and you have to watch out for these supply rejections. You can clearly see the market behavior over the last week. So let's go over XOM. Yeah, XLE, XOM. I'm loving it, man. I'm loving it. Slow and steady wins the race. You guys know I'm in some swing trades on the XLE, or on the XOM, sorry, on the energy sector as a whole. So I am long energy right now. I think it looks great. This is the 200 SMA. I talked about this yesterday. CVX announced some buybacks this morning, or some adjustments of their buyback. You can see CVX popped higher today, this morning off that. I'm in XOM, so looking good here this morning. Broke that key 111 level. I'm liking that. I would like to see some continuation over that 111. It looks like it gets tough around this 112. So a break of 112 would really do it for this trade. So I need to see that happen. And then I would target up here around this 114, like right up in here. This would be my target on this swing trade, which is my current target. So I'd like to see XOM break 112. XLE getting some juice this morning. And what are the oil futures doing? Yeah, so oil futures, you can see, are starting to bounce off this demand. So, yeah, that is starting to set up. This is sort of what I wanted to see. So let's see what happens. All right, I talked about this one yesterday. 100 SMA XOM, 200 SMA XLE. This is where you buy. This is where you take opportunity of risk reward. But obviously we know, right, this is where most people will want to buy. All right, XLE will run possibly 11%, and then we'll start getting people saying, should we buy XLE at 94, where we've rejected multiple times in the past, right? So this is where I'm looking for risk reward. That's why I'm in XOM swing trades. All right. What else? I know one thing. Press the like button. That would be nice. I wouldn't mind that. If you guys could, all 1,500 of you guys, if you guys could just take a quick second, press the like button, that would be much appreciated. Let's go into the ticker form to see what you guys got here today. Oh, we got a lot. We got Nike, Enphase, Autodesk, FSLR, MNS, Low, CVX. Okay, all right, we got a lot. Here we go. So here's what we're looking at. Nike, Enphase, Autodesk, I believe, FSLR, MNST, I have no idea what that is, Dollar Tree, Lowe's, CVX, FSR, Fisker. Not sure why we're looking at Fisker, but we'll go ahead and do it anyway. Probably won't have much for you, to be quite honest. All right. Yeah, Nike did exactly what we wanted. Pretty much. I mean, it's doing exactly what we talked about. I'm sure the person that put this in here knows or has been here. Yeah, weekly supply rejection. Pretty much exactly what we talked about 4 weeks ago. I got into some Nike puts here. I was not patient enough. I took a small loss on it, and you can see my options would have expired, I believe, anyway. Actually, I'm not sure if they would have been. Forgot what I took. I can probably look at it real quick, actually, if I can find it. Yeah. Here it is. Nike. I had Nike February 17th, 125, but yeah, they would have been expired. So I did the right thing. But Nike, the idea was perfect, right? Retest of weekly supply. Boom. Downside. Yeah, probably could continue. Nike puts did take a while to pay. But yeah, probably can continue. I would say just watch out for some of these. Watch out for this previous high right here. Like this 118 area. Might put in a little bit of support. So watch that 118. All right. End phase. Yeah, end phase has gotten a little juice. A little bit of juice on end phase, but I think it's just sort of dying here, to be honest. End phase is just sort of slowly bleeding out. I would look for like a retest of 221 to play another rejection on end phase, honestly. If you can get a move back into these highs, this high, this high, this high, if you can get another move back into that, I'd look for a rejection play at 221, personally. Autodesk, complete chop fest. Complete sideways nothingness. If this chart says anything, it says you buy low and you sell high. That's what this chart says. You buy here and you sell here. And if you can't trust that, well, then don't trade this, because that's all it's been doing. Buy here, sell here. That's it. FSLR. That's an interesting little hold on FSLR. Yeah. A little bit of a hold here on FSLR. You guys can see previous highs sort of it's been basing here around this 163, 162 area. Previous highs, break, retest. It's been really holding that. But you can clearly see the upside just really doesn't have any juice. Look at all these wick rejections sort of dying off too. You need something. I mean, you need something of awakening. It's just sort of slow. You need an awakening move here. You need either like a nice upside to awaken the move to the upside, or you need there's earnings. Forget it. Good luck. MNST earnings. Forget it. Dollar Tree earnings. Forget it. Lowe's earnings. Forget it. You guys, it's the same guy every time. I know it is. CVX. So rejections. Yeah, so CVX is pushing up higher. But I'm a little concerned. I'd be a little concerned of like this 167, 164 area. So you got the 200 SMA here at like 165. That's pretty much where we're trading right now. So I'd be a little bit cautious on the upside here. 167 is a pretty major previous demand here, and it could definitely reject at that level. So 167, watch out for that. That's what I'd watch for on the upside. FSR. I'm not going to look at PNW just because of that. You know I don't. You've been here before, Smike. You know I don't respond to that, but you do it anyway. I'm not looking at FSR, guys. It's a ridiculous stock to look at. All right. That's about it. I'll look at PNW. Rejection of 190. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. The same exact thing we looked at yesterday. Nothing has changed here. Rejecting 190. All right. That's all I got. Guys, please stop trading FSR. Please stop trading Hood. Please stop trading Bed Bath & Beyond. Please. Please, do it for yourself. Do it for your own good. Stop trading these stocks. Just stop. It is so... It is so meme 2020. I mean, it is so last year, even though it's not last year. It's over, guys. Please do something else. Yeah, just watch that 190, Smike. That's really the key right there, man. Gotta watch. That's a very clear rejection point right there at 190. All right. 1-800-FLOWERS. Press the like button. Subscribe to the channel. He didn't stay. Yeah, don't stop trading GameStop. We like the stock. MOAS. The MOAS is coming. Winter's coming. All right, guys. Have a great day. Press the like button. Subscribe to the channel. And if you trade AMC and GameStop, don't come back. All right. Goodbye.